Is my mic on? Here we go. Okay. Perfect. So I know like no one's here right now. I'm going to give people a couple of minutes. But hello, welcome to Tiff Talk, the first installment. I'm totally late today. I was supposed to start at 4 p.m. PST and 7 p.m. EST, but my microphone cord, the microphone you see right here, broke right before I was about to record, which is so crazy. And it's kind of like, how did that even happen? So for those of you that do not know, my name is Tiffany Gregory, aka Tiffany G, and welcome to my first installment of Tiff Talk, which is basically me just talking about different topics, different subjects, depending on what's going on in my life. It's very informal, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I've actually wanted to start a podcast for a while. You know, I used to be a radio personality, and I've kind of just been having that inclination to do something that's live or just some kind of talk show. So yeah, this is basically me doing that, but I do think I'm probably going to start to do something that is also, you know, like an interview podcast where I interview people about different things. So if you're just tuning in, hello. But I know this is going, if you missed the live, don't worry, you're going straight, or miss anything on the live, is going straight to YouTube. So yeah, y'all are pretty much my, I guess, live audience. So today I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but I do have quite a few topics to talk about today. I'm gonna do a January recap because I never did. Okay, so we have quite a few subjects. One of the subjects is a January recap, right? Secondly, we're gonna talk about me moving to LA, because that's a thing that's happened. I know a lot of people don't know about that. Number 3, my first week in LA. Number 4, I'm going to talk all about my first day at Nickelodeon. And then number 5 is my February goals. And also a kind of like added thing I'm going to talk about. Basically, I asked people on Instagram to ask me questions to talk about during my first episode of Tiff Talk. So I'm going to be answering 10 of those questions because there was quite a few questions. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. So, oh, hi, Sammy, the goat. So yeah, so we're just going to get right into it. And when people join, they can join in. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, so like I said, this is my first one. So here we go. First, I'm going to do a January recap. So in January, so many things happened. The first thing I have is like saying goodbye to Virginia. It was really hard to do that, to say goodbye to my hometown, Virginia, to move to LA. It was probably like one of the hardest things I had to do. And I feel like I handled it like a champ. But for instance, the first thing that was really hard when I finally got the acceptance letter from Nickelodeon, I was super duper excited. And of course, I said yes, but I realized at that moment I had to tell my job that I was quitting and moving across the country. And that was super scary for me. It really was. So it was actually really funny because I was like, okay, I need to tell my job that I am putting in my 2 weeks on a Monday because I wanted to be done in 2 weeks on the next Monday. I was working remotely from my job at the time, and I just was like, okay, I'm going to work remote all day, and then I'm going to go into the office and I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell my supervisor that I am putting in my 2 weeks. Easy enough, right? Wrong. Wrong. I got to the office. I drove like 30 minutes to get there from my house, and my supervisor was there. It was just me and her. I was super nervous. I know she probably figured something was up because I was there like 6 o'clock, and I knew she'd be there at 6 o'clock because she always stays late. And I'm just like pacing around the office, like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And she was like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah. So then I decided, I got too scared. She was there, she was having meetings and stuff. I got scared, so I left. And I was in the car, just, driving, calling my friends and being like, oh, I'm so sad because I was too much of a chicken to tell her that I was trying to quit. So basically, as I'm talking to my friend on the phone about, not being able to tell my supervisor that I was leaving Virginia, leaving the job, I look up and the license plate in front of me literally says "Man Up." I'm not making this up. I do have the picture. I sent it. I don't know if it's in my phone, but I sent it to multiple people, so I'm sure they have it. But literally, the license plate said "Man Up," and I was like, you know what? This is a sign for me. This is a sign for me to go back and to tell my boss I am putting in my 2 weeks, which I was really, really sad about. And we talked, and I almost cried. I think I cried a little bit. I don't really remember, but she was very supportive, very nice. I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought she was going to like be angry or something, but of course she wasn't. She was very happy for me, and that was great, And so those 2 weeks following, I really, had to make a lot of I don't want to say hasty, that's not the right word, quick decisions, because I had 2 weeks to basically pack up my life and move to LA. I felt like this was my opportunity that I've been looking for. I had been applying to jobs in LA literally all year long, y'all. I had been applying for a whole year to LA jobs, and I had so many interviews, and almost every day a rejection letter was coming in. So yeah, that really sucked. But getting the job at Nickelodeon was really nice because it was like, oh, this is it. And the funny thing about it was that and one other job that I was going for, I had applied to like over 100 places in the whole year. So this is like December, actually. Well, not fast forward, rewind to December, right before January. I was saying to my boo that I was like, I'm not applying in any more jobs. Like, I really did not want to apply anywhere else. And if I didn't get this job, I wasn't going to do it anymore. I was just going to stay in Virginia. And I told God that. I was like, yo, like, if I don't get this job, I'm staying. But I did get the job. So, yeah. So, preparing to leave to come here was a lot. I really did up and leave 2.5 weeks. I packed my life into my car into 2 trunks, and it was hard. If you know me, you know how much stuff I have. It was hard to just like be like, okay, I'm gonna leave this in Virginia and hopefully one day come back to get it. So what else? That was part of that, and then I'll get into actually moving in a second. But another thing that happened in January was grad school auditions. Yes. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, which a lot of people didn't because I didn't really announce it, I was auditioning for MFA acting grad programs all through January 2021, right at the beginning. So flip to a year ago. I had decided I was going to go back. I went before to grad auditions and I got no callbacks, point blank, period. Just keep it real. Let's keep it real. And so I decided, and that was a while ago. That was like quite a few years ago. It might have been like 3, 4 years ago, which is crazy. Time is flying. But I decided I wanted to go back to grad school auditions and give it another go. And even if I didn't get into grad school, I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, that yeah, it was just something about that. It was a chapter I really wanted to close that I felt like had been left open for a very long time. And I didn't want to do it the same way I did before. I felt like I had a coach last time that I'm not going to get into that, but I felt like people didn't believe in me. And it was even told to me that I was expected not to get into any schools, not to get any callbacks. And it sucked because that actually did happen to me. And I just felt like I wish someone had said that beforehand, versus me getting there and that happening. So anyway, so the beginning of 2021, I decided I was going to take it very seriously. I was going to try to get into grad school, but if I didn't, it was fine. It wasn't the end of the world, but I know, like, I just wanted to give it a go. So I got a acting coach, and he's absolutely amazing. I'm going to place him down below. A grad school specific acting coach. He's a grad of a drama MFA. And then I had met another acting coach during the year 2021, and my LA coach, which is crazy because I'm actually staying in his house right now, paying rent, but this is where my temporary place is. But yeah, so grad school auditions, so the whole year 2021, I was taking classes every other week, every week, and it was really challenging, and acting really just showed me a lot about who I am as a person, because, you know, a lot of people, including me, I always thought like acting was about pretending, and it's really not. It's about being yourself. And it definitely taught me that over the course of doing it, and I had a greater appreciation for acting because of that. So fast forward through, it's so funny. I'm supposed to be talking about my January recap, but I'm talking, it's like everything that has happened, there was so much backward. There was so many seeds and so much watering of those seeds that happened. So that's why it's like I have to talk about things that happened last year for you to understand what happened and recap January. So basically, after training all year very vigorously with both coaches, one was more specific to grad school, and the other, my LA coach, was just specific to acting in general. And so, yeah, grad school auditions came around in January, and I've auditioned for all the schools I'm going to audition for except one, which is Yale. I have that audition on Friday, which I'm really nervous about. But yeah, so basically, you guys. Okay, so I am going to talk to y'all very briefly about my auditions, but I'm going to have full videos of all of those down in the description if you want to know specifics. I auditioned in this order for Juillard, NYU, USC, and I have Yale Friday. Those are all the schools I auditioned for. And if you know anything about those schools, you're probably like, what? You like auditions for some of the hardest schools to get into. I did, because I felt like I wanted to go to a really good school and I didn't want to just apply everywhere, which I probably should have applied to more schools, but that's neither here nor there. It's not. So basically, I applied to Juilliard and I went into that audition very confidently. My acting coach, David, is amazing. He had me very confident. And when I went in, I actually got a call back and I was so hyped. Like, some of y'all might be like, what? But it was really exciting to get a call back to Juilliard. I mean, arguably the best school in the country other than Yale. So that was really great. And if you want to know more about that, I'm going to have a video specifically about that linked. Then I auditioned for NYU, again, one of the top schools. I got a call back for that. Oh, I didn't say this about Juilliard. I obviously did not get in. I did get one call back, and then it was over after the call back. Same thing with NYU. I got one call back, then it was over. USC. Sorry, I don't mean to roll my eyes. I love all these schools. It's just frustrating. It was a really nice experience. Again, I'll talk more specific about that in a different video, but it was just so nerve-wracking auditioning for these schools. Because you just never know exactly what they want or what they're looking for. And if you ask them, they'll always be like, we're looking for you. And I know what that means. They want you to be yourself, which I definitely was in all those auditions. So what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just close this part of this as far as grad schools. I was very sad and happy. I definitely felt mixed feelings about the whole experience because I went in and showed my heart. I literally boo-hoo cried in the first two auditions, like Juilliard and NYU. Like, your girl was going in. The emotion was there. And it, like one of my coaches says, it's not always about just getting emotional. It's about the intention. And my intention was so there. And I felt so confident. I felt so good, with the work I had put in for the last year. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional because this is really sad for me. But, just to be in the room with these people that they pick some of the best, the brightest, the most brilliant actors, and to get callbacks was really, really, it was a big deal for me, especially, coming from a couple years ago when I went into a whole bunch of auditions and didn't get any callbacks. So to have the biggest schools call me back was like, like I knew. And it's fine. I have one more audition. Again, it's Yale, but I'm gonna talk again, like I said, about all those. I'm gonna put them down in the description. Talk about the NYU audition, the Juillard audition, the USC audition, and then the Yale one. But I just I'm not gonna do this. I worked really hard to go to grad school, and I'm really thankful, and I'm just happy to be recognized. Obviously, woo, there's different ways to get where you want to go. And that obviously wasn't the way I was supposed to go, because if it was, I would have got in. And just like, oh my gosh, okay, you got it. And just like this job, I know that, it was for me to get this Nickelodeon gig, because right before that, I had applied to multiple positions. I'm not going to say some of them because I'm going to say one, but not all of them. I applied to the biggest companies in the country, like not even just in the country, in the world, for media, and to be in the rooms with them, to get interviews, to be in the rooms, to have 3 auditions, to have 6 auditions, 4 auditions with the same companies. I'm proud of the work I put in. I put in some really hard work on my own when no one believed in me. So sorry. And wow, I'm just so surprised. I'm getting emotional. But but I'm proud of what I've been doing. Like, I really am, because I really planted seeds in silence, and everything hasn't been perfect. I haven't always been happy, or, like I probably try to display on social media, especially Instagram. Like, I always try to put on a positive face, a forward face. And I'm usually really good at that. And anyone that knows me knows I'm very positive, and just like always trying to be a light, and always trying to be, a person that listens and then helps. So, I'm like getting on a tangent. But so all that to say, to close the grad school thing, I am very proud of the work I've done. And I have one more audition to Yale. If I'm supposed to get in, I'm supposed to get in. If I don't, I don't. Am I going to audition again for grad schools next year? I don't know. It's something I really want to think about. Being here in LA now, I know it would greatly help me to get into the rooms, just because they really want people that have experience or some kind of like education. And I don't have a lot of experience. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, y'all. I probably should have had some tissue. But I don't have a lot of experience as far as like acting, in a series or in play. I have a little bit of experience, but not like a lot. So I was hoping that grad school would be the thing that like elevated me to that. And I'm probably right now about to get into a topic I'm supposed to talk about later. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just, my nose is running from crying. But basically, I'm about to get into a topic I'm going to talk about later, and that is creating opportunities for myself. Sorry, my life kind of went out. But yeah, and that's about creating opportunities for myself. And if if the opportunities aren't there for you, you got to create them for yourself. And I think that's something that defines me as a person, because in a lot of instances, And, people probably didn't mean to make me feel like this, but I always, in a lot of instances, felt like I didn't belong. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She said she's so proud of me, and I'm proud of you too, and all the things you're doing. And I miss you a lot. But anyways, let's go to the next part of number 1, and that is taking the lead, but I already talked about that. So we're gonna go to number 2, and that is moving to LA and the road trip from Virginia to LA. Y'all, that is coast to coast. Yes, I went on a coast to coast road trip so I could have my car in LA. And honestly, I was really, really nervous to do this because I have done this trip before and it was not enjoyable. I'm going to just keep it a buck. It was not enjoyable for me. Like, there were some parts of it that was very enjoyable, but there were some parts of it that were absolutely horrible. So I had no intention of doing a coast to coast trip again, as I said, unless I had money, and it was just for fun, like to just see the whole country and to stop in places and, all of that. But I ended up doing it again. And the reason why I got, how I came to that decision to do the coast to coast road trip was, I was like, okay, after I got the job, how am I going to get out here? What's going to be the cheapest route? Because your girl needed to save some coins, because I didn't have a lot of coins at the time, just because of the transition. Now in a couple weeks, the coins will be here. But so basically I was like, okay, either I can ship my car or I can drive my car out here. Now, when I thought about, everybody was like, oh, ship your car, you don't want to drive. Like, literally everyone was saying that. And I was like, yo, this costs a lot of money. It was close to $2,000. And I'm like, I mean, that's a lot. Like $2,000 to ship my car. And then I wouldn't have none of my stuff. Because like some people were like, oh, just put your stuff in the car. They charge you extra for that. So I was not going to do that. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go. I'm going to take some friends. I'm going to stuff my trunk with 2 big bins. I literally only took 2 bins of my stuff and a couple of other things. And I took 2 friends with me and we rode across the country. And obviously I have a lot of stuff still in Virginia that I plan to go back and get some of it. But yeah, this was a really I did it. And we're here. So basically, I took 2 of my friends, Jasmine Torres, Let's Jazz It Up is her channel, and I took Nija Sim, and I think her channel is just Nija Sim as well, like it's that name. And it was just so much fun. Like, I had such a good time. First we stopped. I'm gonna have a video about this as well, so I'll have that link down below too, the whole road trip. But we stopped in Tennessee, and I got to see Jasmine's rental properties. Like, this girl is a boss. My friends are bosses. Get you some boss friends. My friend Jasmine, so proud of her. Like, we stopped at her tiny home that she just bought. We stayed at her cabin, that's her rental property. And then we went to her other place that's rental property and helped her kind of put stuff together, which was a lot of fun. And like I said, I'll have a video showing all that stuff. You can watch those videos, but y'all should check out both of their channels. And yeah, me and Nija went. So we stopped in Tennessee first. So much fun. We had a great time. Then after Tennessee, we drove for a really long time. Well, actually, before Tennessee, me and Nija drove from Virginia to Tennessee because Jasmine was already in Tennessee. And Nija's really cool. Like, it was the first time we really got to spend together. And I think it was like 10 hours that we were driving by ourselves together. And I really got to know her, and she was really, really cool. So it was always exciting for me to meet new people and make new friends. So I was really happy that we just got along so well, like instantly. And I'm excited to have her friendship. And she's really great. And y'all should check out her YouTube. She is an entrepreneur, girl boss, and I'm just excited and happy to know her and to be friends with her and just, be able to share a room. I don't mean a literal room, even though we did share rooms, but I mean like a room, like a space with her where we can, help each other and learn from each other and just motivate each other. And I always love that about women. I always consider myself a girl's girl, or I aspire to be a girl's girl, because I love to support women. I love women that support women. And both of them, Let's Jazz It Up, Jasmine Torres, and Nija Sim, they're both those kind of girls. So shout out to them. But anywho, after we left Tennessee, we went and drove, I think like 13, 14 hours to Oklahoma to see Jasmine's friend. And yeah, so we drove to Oklahoma. We saw a lot. Snappy, she showed us so much stuff while we were there. Then from there, we drove to Arizona, which was a lot of fun. And we stayed in a resort. And oops, sorry, I did not mean to pop my mouth like that. But we stayed in a resort, and we also went to the Red Rocks. It was called like Cathedral or something like that. I'm gonna have it linked where we went, but it was so beautiful. If like y'all, it was amazing. It's one of the prettiest places I've ever seen other than the Grand Canyon. It really reminded me of the Grand Canyon, so I think that's why I liked it so much. But it was just really, really, really beautiful. We had a great time. We didn't want to leave, and we got so much content. All that content is coming. If you go to their pages, you'll already see some of it because I've been seeing them posting, but I'll be posting soon. So then after Arizona, we went straight to LA, and we had the whole Sunday. And yeah, we had the whole Sunday in LA to like go and do things. And I'm trying to figure out, what did we do? I feel like, did we chill? We might have just chilled that day. I really can't remember right now. Why can't I remember? No, we got there Saturday night, and then the next day, I feel like we met up with Nigel's friend, but I might be tripping. But we had a lot of fun while they were here in LA. They had more fun than I did because I had to start work the next day after we got here. But yeah, like I said, the whole trip is going to be up on my YouTube. I'm pretty sure both of them are going to post videos. Jasmine's going to post a video, and so is Nigel. So we just had a really great time, and they left a couple days ago, and I'm really sad they're gone. I am, because I had a great time, and I could totally see us all living together, which I told them and they thought was funny. Like I really, really, really enjoyed their company. Okay, I'm just going over here. I saw a new comment. I found you on channel to Jasmine. Oh, thank you. I want to pronounce your name right. Is it China Chanel? Thank you so much for your comment. Girl, yes. You're gonna make it out here to Cali. You're gonna make it. I've been saying this since I was a kid. And I'm finally out here. Like, gotta take that leap of faith. But doing it in your own way, and that's one of the topics I was gonna talk about too, was taking the leap. But like doing it in your own way, I think is most important because I know some people come out to Cali literally with nothing. They don't have a job, they don't have any money, they don't have a place to stay, and they're just like, yep, I hope and did it. And it's like, that's cool if that works for you. Everybody's journey is different. But what I did was I worked really, really, really hard in Virginia. I got multiple media jobs and just and focused on my own content as well, which I do think a lot of what, helped me was my own content. And I could talk about that a little bit, but that was my way of getting here. I was like, I needed a job. I always said I never wanted to be a starving artist. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a starving artist. Like, that was something I said even when I was like 18, 19. I said that wasn't going to be me. I was going to have money. At no point did I want to not have it. So it was important to me to be able to come out here and have a job right out the back. And I can say proudly, but not in a cocky way, I'm excited that my first two jobs are with two big companies, BuzzFeed and Nickelodeon. So I'm very excited to say that I'm blessed, and I worked really hard to get here. So yeah, and I guess I could talk about that a little bit. I'm sure it'll help somebody else, so I can just talk about a couple of things. So basically, or I could say that for another video. It doesn't matter. I also put that down below too. And I talked about it briefly on how I got hired at BuzzFeed. So there's a video about that, and I'm going to have one about how I got hired at Nickelodeon. So next topic is my first week in LA. Today marks one whole week that I've been in LA. I am in beautiful WeHo. Apparently, according to my old coworkers, I'm a witch of WeHo now. Apparently that's from like some show that I've never heard of, but I have to watch. And yeah, so my first week, the first day, me, Jasmine, and Nigel went to this vegan place called Veggie Grill, which was y'all, but that to be vegan food, it was good. Like, that's about to be my spot. It was so delicious. Like, the burgers, the chicken patties, obviously it was all vegan, so it wasn't actual meat. So good, so good. Like, if you ever want to go like vegetarian or vegan, LA is the place to do it because the food is delicious. Like it was so good. And again, I'm having a video that's coming about that. It was just so good. Anyways, so yeah, so that was the first day, Sunday. We did a lot of eating. And my first day at work, so interesting. I had a lot of fun. Obviously, my job right now, not obviously, but my job is remote right now because of Omicron. It's remote right now. They don't really want us all in the office, but I don't really know if we need to be in the office because when you're like have a job in content creation, I don't even know if I said what I do at Nickelodeon. I'm a social media producer at Nickelodeon. But I think when you have like a job in content creation where you're creating things, it's kind of like you don't necessarily need to be in an office, especially if they give you a laptop, which they gave us one, and all the media, the BuzzFeed, same thing, they gave us laptops and stuff. And it's like, you don't really need to be in an office. Like you can be mobile when you have jobs in content creation. So I don't know if we're actually ever going to go back. But my first couple of days, oh my goodness, so many meetings, so much paperwork. Being the new girl is always interesting. It's fine. Obviously, it can be a little stressful, especially for someone like me. That's kind of like, I can be introverted, but if I don't, sometimes I have to give myself that pep talk to be like, all right, you got to be extroverted now. So yeah, but it was fine. Everybody's really, really super duper, super nice at Nickelodeon. I really, really love it. And yeah, my third day, we actually went on set to Paramount Studios. I got to be, oh, it was so nice just to see like, behind the scenes at one of the shows and to meet some of the talent that I'm going to be working with personally, which is really, really cool. One of the people I'm going to be working with and the show I'm going to be working on, one of the shows I'm going to be working on is that girl Lele. So I was really excited to hear that and to meet her. And I just feel like I'll be able to make her some really good content and just the show in general, some really good content because fashion, beauty is kind of like my thing. I think I'm pretty good at it. And that's what I like. That's what I'm passionate about. So it's really cool to be able to get paid to kind of like just have fun for the most part. I mean, it's work, but I do enjoy it a lot. So yeah. And I'm going to have a video about Nickelodeon in particular. So again, that'll be linked. I have so many videos that are coming out, y'all. So many. And basically all the stuff that's happening in LA is going to be called Tiffany in LA, kind of like Emily in Paris, but Tiffany in LA. And it's going to be a series about my adventures in LA and all the things I'm doing here. But yeah, so what else? Then we went shopping at the alley. It's called something else alley, but I cannot think of what the name is. If you know, If you know, drop it in the chat because I just cannot think of what the name of that place is. But they have everything you can think of as far as clothing. Like that's gonna be my spot to go to. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Also, what else, y'all? Oh, of course, this is a big part of what I've been doing, and that is apartment hunting because I am, like I said, in a temporary place. This is not the place I'm going to be staying in. I'm staying here temporarily. So apartment hunting has been a very interesting because here in LA, it's nothing like Virginia when you're apartment hunting. And the reason why, oh, hi, Naja. I was just talking about you. I don't know how long you've been here, but, so basically apartment hunting here is way different than in Virginia because like you can see an apartment at 10 a.m. and then it's gone by 12 p.m. They go really fast and it's kind of hard to get into them for one, and they kind of like pressure you. Like quite a few of the places have been calling me excessively and emailing me excessively and just like put in the deposit. I'm like, what is up with y'all? And then around here too, it's like I'm not that familiar with the area. Obviously, there's a lot of areas in LA. LA is huge. It's huge. It's huge, but it's not. But there's a lot of areas, and I'm just not familiar with them. So I've had to ask, like, oh, should I go to this area? What about this area? And you always want to know if the area is going to be safe, especially at night. And after, like, there was quite a few apartments I saw, I really, really, really liked them. But then I went to the reviews and they talked about having break-ins, or they talked about having roaches, which is a no for me. I am terrified of bugs, for one. But roaches? Roaches? We're not doing roaches. I cannot do roaches, rats, lizards. I can't do rodents. Like, no. Ugh. Just even thinking about it makes me, like, gross. And I hate bugs, so I'm not for it. I'm probably gonna have to get some kind of cat, or a cat, to kill all the bugs for me. But yeah, so anyway, so apartment hunting has been very interesting. Again, I'm gonna have a video about apartment hunting and that'll be linked below once that comes out. I'm just gonna have spaces because I've recorded most of this stuff, I just haven't edited it yet. So okay, on to the next topic. Okay, I skipped through some of the topics. So before I get, oh wow, okay, we're at the last one, which is February goals. So before I do that, I'm going to answer the questions people had from Instagram. I had quite a few questions. I had more than 10 questions, but I'm only going to do 10. I'm going to try to be quiet with this paper because the mic picks up on everything. Okay, so one question was, what's your favorite thing about LA so far? My favorite thing about LA is, and y'all might think this is silly, I love that there's fruit trees. I know, it's like really silly. It's one of my favorite things, but growing up, we had fruit trees in the backyard. We had plums, we had apples, cherries, all of that. And it's just something I really love about, like, walking outside and seeing lemon trees and orange trees. It just makes me really happy and feel like I'm in a tropical place. So I love that. The weather here is crazy. It's 70 degrees every single day, which is wild to me coming from Virginia, where it was literally snowing right before I left. There was snow on the ground when I left. So to come from like 40, 30 degree weather to come to 70 degree weather, and apparently it's like that this all the time, I'm like, y'all, I love it. So I'd have to say, is that my favorite thing though? Those are some of my favorite things. The weather, the fruit trees, and I love the alley right now. I'm really feeling it because your girl loves to shop. So that might be it. But I don't know. I really can't put my finger on what's my favorite thing about LA because I haven't done much. Like, it's only been a week. So right now, my favorite thing is the fruit trees and the palm trees and the weather. But maybe next week it'll be something different once I experience some more things. I haven't done a lot yet. So number 2, and these questions are random, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all that. So it could be a lot. Number 2, someone said, what's my leg day routine? You have great calves. Oh, wow. Very nice. What is my leg day routine? That's kind of like, it's a lot. I have to answer that one in a different video because that's a lot and I didn't prepare for that. It's a lot. Legs are important. But, okay. Number 3. How do you find the drive to push yourself towards larger goals, especially through tough times? Wow. Let me read that again. How do you find the drive to push yourself towards larger goals, especially during tough times? Man, oh man, oh man. That is like a crazy question, and it's something I feel like I deal with all the time. Like, not all the time. I'm not on tough times all the time, but I think sometimes mentally I'm in a tough time, like, because I expect so much of myself. I want so much for myself. Like, I'm a person that always, I don't want to say that always wants more, because when I say more, I don't mean material wise necessarily. I mean, like, I've got big dreams, I got big goals, and I always have. So when you have, big dreams and big goals, it can be tough on you when things aren't necessarily going as planned, which is like the story of my everyday. And so how do you find the drive to push yourself towards larger goals? I think what makes me push myself is to know that with every goal that I have, especially the really, really big ones, it's going to take big effort. It's going to take big sacrifice. It's going to take, just really pushing myself and setting those goals and setting many goals to achieve those goals. It's going to take work. It's about putting in the work. And I know people say that all the time, but it's one of those things. It's okay. It's cool if you like dream of doing something, but if you just say something, you dream of it, but you never put any steps towards it, it's a wish. And wishes are cool or whatever, but a wish is always going to be a wish until you put action towards it. And you'll never reach your goals wishing. You'll never reach your goals saying what you coulda, shoulda, woulda did. You'll never reach your goals saying, I wish I had, I should have, I could have, I would have. You will never reach any goals doing that. So for me, when I'm on tough times, what drives me is to know that for every tough time, there'll be a better time. You can't have sunshine without the rain. It's a part of growing. You literally, you plant a seed, it's in the dark, it's in the dirt, and you have to water it, and eventually it'll come out to the sunlight. And I think we're exactly like that. We're seeds, our goals are seeds, and there's gonna be tough times, there's gonna be obstacles. If everything was easy, like, it just wouldn't make sense. I wish it was easy. We all wish it was easy, but it's not. So I think knowing that I want more, and not only knowing that I want more, but knowing I deserve more and that I can have it, is what pushes me towards bigger goals. And I think another thing that, drives me is knowing that I don't want a life that someone else has decided for me. That has been a big thing for me. And I know it's a debate that I will always get pulled into, because as a creative, a very creative person, a person that makes music, a person that does YouTube, that does social media, that wants to create like visual things as far as films and series and acting, I'm a person that people are like, why do you have a 9-to-5? And it's so funny because younger me would have been like, Tiffany's never going to have a 9-to-5. Tiffany's not going to work a 9-to-5. And the reason why I've had multiple 9-to-5s, and I've tried to always keep my 9-to-5s into something that will help me be able to get to financial freedom. I'm not just having a 9-to-5 that has nothing to do with what I want to do for myself. These 9-to-5s have literally all poured into my own things, have poured into what I want to do, and gives me the security of money that I can save to get to financial freedom. Now, that's something I'm going to talk about in a separate video, but stop telling people to quit their jobs. Now, is that it works for some people, but I think there's multiple ways to get to financial freedom, to get to your goals. And I think if you're going to have a 9-to-5 like me, you use that as if you're an investor, so you can get to your other goals. You know what I'm saying? And you'll hear a lot of people talk about this, like Patricia Bright, one of my favorite YouTubers, talked about this because she did this. Actually, a lot of my favorite YouTubers talk about this because they all did this. They had 9-to-5s and they used their 9-to-5s to push them into what they wanted to do. Even if it wasn't like me, where mine actually do help with my, goals. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic that we're going to talk about later, about using your 9-to-5 to get to financial freedom. So next question. That was a great question. Next question. Have you met any celebs? Since I've been here, the only celeb I've met is Lele, from That Girl Lele, the Nickelodeon show. I'm going to be working with her, so she counts. I was just trying to think, had I met anyone else. I've only been here a week, y'all. I've only been here a week. But I met her, so she was very nice, like really cool, really sweet, and very professional. So that was nice. Where are some places you want to visit? Wow, that's a great question that I haven't really even put a lot of thought into. Places I want to visit in LA, I want to go to all the good places to eat. Like, I gotta find them. I also want to go to some museums. I want to go see the Hollywood sign. So basic of me, but I definitely do. I've never seen it. I didn't see it the last time I was here. What do I want to do? Wow, that's a great question that I need to really, I need to give some thought. Sorry, I'm so sorry when I smack because I know it's so loud. But I need to give some thought to that, like places I want to go. I want to go to the, wow, I cannot remember what the name of it is, but it's like this, it's almost near the Hollywood sign, and it's like sorry, I cannot think of the name of it, but it's like a circle, and you can see the stars from it in the hills. Can't remember it. I'll come back to that. I'll probably answer this in the next Tiff Talk about what do I want to do, because I haven't given this no thought. Number 7. How do you stay grounded as far as mental health? Wow. Um, so me personally, things I do to stay grounded mental health wise is I go to therapy. I haven't been in like a month, which I need to just because I was moving and I needed to save as many coins as I could. So I need to do that. But I do go to therapy. And one thing my therapist told me, do yoga and make sure you check out sometimes, which is something I don't do often because I work in social media and then I also work in social media. As far as like my 9 to 5 is in social media, and then what I do for myself is in social media. So it's like I'm constantly working, but she really was telling me like, you got to check out. Like some days you just got to turn it off. You can't do anything. And it's really hard for me to do that, but it does help when I do that. Also, other things that help me is just talking to my friends, like talking to my family. It always grounds me. Even when I was in Virginia, just being able to talk to my boo, being able to talk to any of my friends and just vent to them. It was always very helpful because then they would talk about their stuff and it was just always really beautiful. So I think having a good support system definitely helps me. Another thing is like self-care days, taking a bubble bath. If you follow me on Instagram, I take bubble baths all the time. Because it's just something about it is really relaxing. I like to pamper myself. And I might have already said this, but I kind of don't remember. My therapist really recommended me doing yoga, which I haven't in a while, which is so, so, so great because it makes you connect your mind and your body at the same time, which is really helpful, especially for like the stuff that I deal with mentally. So yoga is really cool too. I also like to shop. It might be a bad one, but I do like to shop. I definitely enjoy it. It helps me mentally. Goodness gracious, it might not help my pockets, but it helps me mentally. So shopping's always fun, and just creating's always fun for me. It helps me, puts me in a great mental space, and definitely praying. Praying definitely keeps me in a good mental space. And yeah, so that's the answer to that question. Someone else asked, have things gone as planned? Things never go as planned. Like, obviously I have a plan. I mean, I'm not gonna say they never go as planned, but things go as planned, but then like there's always some things that happen on the way to kind of distract you or kind of get you off track, but you just gotta stay focused. And then if you see something that's gonna help, just let it flow naturally and help you along the way. But things don't always go as planned, but that's fine. That is fine if things don't go as planned, because it's like we're ready for anything. That's how you get sharper. That's how you get smarter. That's how things happen. So next question. I think I have 2 more questions. 8. No. This is 9, I think. So yeah, question 9 is overall goals for the year. Okay. Yeah, we can get into that. Actually, I'm going to save that one because I still have to do February goals. So we're going to do the overall goals and February goals next after this other question. This other question goes with it because it's called How Will You Achieve Your Goals? Okay, so I'm going to talk about my overall goals for the year, which I haven't done yet, but here's some of them. I want to write, produce, star in a scripted web series. That is something I really want for the year to do for multiple reasons. I want to get an acting agent. I know that'll help with that. I want to get signed to an agency. I want a manager and a lawyer for entertainment. So I know the scripted web series will help because I plan to produce it. I'm going to write it. I'm going to star in it. And I'm probably going to score it. Even though I score, meaning like I'm going to make the beats for it. Yes, I can make beats, but I don't really want to do it for other people making beats, but I can make beats and I plan on doing all of that myself just so I'll have that for me. And that's a part of what I was talking about earlier about doing things for yourself. When the opportunities don't seem to be there, you have to create them for yourself. And that's one of the things. And I think a scripted web series will really, really help me get in front of the right people and just be like a catalyst for getting in front of agencies. So that's a big goal for me this year. Put out a full poetry collection, visual poems. I already started. I put one out. It was called like Love Locks or Lost Love. I'm so sorry. I can't remember my own poem name. But I put out a visual poem for that. And I plan on putting out multiple ones. And they're just kind of like aesthetic. Like me saying poetry over a beat I created and over visuals that I filmed. And I just did one in Arizona, and Nija and Jasmine helped me film that. And then I did one in the snow in Virginia. So I have quite a few that I need to put out that are kind of like in the back. And I'm going to do plenty of them in LA. So that's another goal. Put out full poetry collections. Financial freedom is my goal for the year. And basically, what does that look like? Though I do enjoy working multiple jobs, my nose is like gotten so stopped up all of a sudden. So sorry. But though I, enjoy working jobs and my job for social media, I do want to make so much money off of my social media, like alone, that I would be able to quit my jobs is what one of my goals for the year is. And that's been my goal for the last couple years, but I feel like I'm really close to it this year. So that's one of my goals. I already said I want to get an agent. Oh, and I want to get an influencer agent as well. I want to start teaching classes to you all and just online. Like I want to teach classes, create some ebooks to display. Some of the classes I want to teach are kind of like how to brand, and then like I want to brand for people. So I want to do classes in different services about branding and teaching people how to brand and teaching people how to do things on their own. Like I really want to help people, get out of what I like to call the media middleman, or feeling like they need other people to do things. Like, yeah, we have to work with people, obviously, our whole lives, but there's a lot of things that we can do on our own without paying other people to do it. And I kind of want to teach people how to do that. So that's coming soon, teaching classes and making services. I want to buy my first rental property, or at least save up enough money to do that. That's a really big goal for me this year. Shout out to Jasmine, because my friend Jasmine Torres again, because seeing her getting so many rental properties, it just made me be like, wow, like this is attainable. And it's really great. And that's why I was saying earlier, like it's really great for you to have friends that you can be around, that push you, that motivate you. Because if I really hadn't seen that with my own eyes, I don't want to say I wouldn't have known it was possible. Of course it's possible. But when you see someone that's so close to you doing such big things and stuff like that, then you know, like, oh, it's obtainable. And if I have questions, they'll help me. So that's one thing I do want to do. I want to buy a rental property this year to Airbnb out. And one of my other goals is get cast in a series. But if I do my own web series, I'll be casting that. So yeah, I have some more goals too. But those are the ones I wrote out today. I never made my vision board for the year, which I totally need to. So yeah, February goals. And this is it. After this, I think we're done. But February goals are, I want to create the online classes. I want to create online classes and services. Network. I want to network with people out here in LA that make music. I want to network with influencers. I want to network with producers, actors, just different types of people. I want to make some friends. I could count on my one hand like how many people I know here that probably would actually hang out with me. Because I've like hit up quite a few people out here, and people don't want to chill with me. I don't know why, but apparently that's like a thing in LA. Hopefully it's not. I've heard that though, that people are kind of like, oh, let's hang out, and they never do because everybody's so busy. And if you don't live close to people, it is kind of hard because it takes so long to get to everything. So I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. It does take like a lot. What else? My February goals. I want to find an apartment. So I've been looking. I'm going to get one. I want to post more on social media, especially TikTok. Like, I was doing so good on TikTok. I had hit like 100,000 followers. And then like after I moved into Suffolk, to another place in Suffolk, I just stopped posting because I just couldn't get into the groove. But now that I'm going to have my own place and stuff again, I'm going to be posting. Your girls ought to be posting on YouTube. So just getting on regular schedules for YouTube, for TikTok, for Instagram, for everything is one of my goals for February. Just creating, that content calendar and updating that for the year. And finally, this is a lot of February goals. Very ambitious. I want to save money. Yay. And I have a financial advisor that I'm going to be talking to. Because basically, while I'm out here and making this good money that I'm going to make this year, I really want to be at the point that I'm so organized with my money, budgeting so hard that it's like I know every day how much I can spend. Like, I want to be on that kind of level. So that's kind of like one of my goals for February, is to get to the point that I'm budgeting. Sorry, I don't know why my nose got stuffed up all of a sudden. But I want to be budgeting so crazily that I know to the T how much money I need to spend. I know when a penny has moved out of my account. Like, that's like one of my goals. And I think the last question was, how are you going to achieve these goals? I'm going to achieve these goals by setting mini goals, by starting, because I think that's what a lot of people don't do. That's that. Starting, setting many goals, getting organized, writing it down, putting it somewhere I can just, see it every day, saying it, doing it, achieving it. So yeah, we are almost at time. So thank you all for tuning in to my first Tiff. I just want to call this a TikTok, but thank you for tuning into my first Tiff Talk. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, all of those things. And if I can say something to you all, that is to bet on yourself, to believe in yourself. When nobody else believes in you, you got to believe in you. When you feel like you're just not fitting in, it doesn't matter. It's because you're special. It's because you're supposed to do something important. And I want you to always remember, you're here for a reason. Don't ever feel like you're not here for a reason. Like that your life has no meaning. It has no purpose. Because that's not true. It does. And no matter where you are in life, whether that's with kids or without kids, you're with a person, or you're single, or whatever the thing, your circumstances is, you have a purpose. You have something you're supposed to do, and you can do it. You can achieve it. All your goals, you can make it happen. And I don't know what I just said, but you can make them happen. And I just want to encourage you to dream big, live bigger, and to keep pushing for the things you want, because even when other people tell you no, it's probably because you're supposed to create it. And that's one of the things that I've taken so much away from, because I've had a lot of doors shut in my face. Like I told you earlier, I probably applied to over 100 jobs this year. 100 jobs this year. And I got like maybe 10 interviews. Now, were they big interviews? Definitely. They were huge interviews. But 100 jobs, y'all. 100. And even in Virginia, I applied to so many jobs when I was in Virginia. No one wanted to hire me. No one, y'all. No one in Virginia really wanted to hire me in media, which is crazy to me because, and I'm going to have to talk a little bit, right? I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not. But the jobs in Virginia would not hire me, right? I come out and, the jobs in Virginia wouldn't hire me. But in LA, 2 of the biggest companies hired me, BuzzFeed and Nickelodeon. So I just want to say, sometimes too, the things that you're pushing for might not be big enough for you. Sometimes it's like you need to dream bigger because you're thinking too small. And I always think of it that way, like, those jobs didn't want me because I wasn't supposed to be there. So yeah, that's that. And I love you guys. We have 2 more minutes. So if anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat. But otherwise, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming to my first TikTok. Oh my gosh, my first Tiff Talk. And I want to keep doing these. And I also think I'm going to start a podcast, which is going to be, I don't want to say what it's going to be, but it's going to be me interviewing people. And I'm really excited to start that. And also make sure y'all follow the podcast I'm a part of with Nija Sam and Jasmine Torres, and it's called Let's Talk It Up. I'll have that link down below as well. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe to the video. Thanks for joining. I love y'all so much. And until next time, bye, my friends.